Hey guys, how's it going? So today we're going to talk about the subject of virtual reality. I thought that would be like a pretty fun subject to talk about. With movies like The Matrix and other stuff, we've always thought about what if we actually were living in a virtual reality world? Well, that also can stem from other theories such as the M theory. But let's talk about virtual reality. What if we actually were part of a video game or an alternate world where basically it's a dystopian society and people have decided to live in virtual reality? If you really think about it, we're kind of doing it already now in our world. We have video games. We're not putting a headset on and stuff, but worlds such as Grand Theft Auto or Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Warcraft and many, many other games are so vast that basically if you didn't want to live in the society that you're in, you could literally go into the video game and live there for the rest of your life. What if they got so good at virtual reality that you wouldn't be able to distinguish it from the real world as opposed to the virtual world? And what if you could basically feel in the same way? What if, for example, you were completely handicapped and you're not able to move at all, and the only way that you could actually live your life in a positive fashion would be to put a helmet on and a bunch of sensors all over your body, and even if you're laying down or sitting or whatever, you're basically able to live this life and visit all the places you've always wanted to visit and go to all the things. And what if you're super old and maybe your brain is functioning well but your body is completely shot and you're still wanting to visit places and experience things and fall in love and talk to people and do a bunch of really cool things? And by going into this virtual reality, you're actually able to have beautiful days for the rest of your life. Wouldn't it make your morale better? Wouldn't it be a good thing? But what if we're already part of virtual reality? What if we're actually kind of like in the Matrix? Basically in a dystopian world where everything is destroyed and some programmer decided that they would create this wonderful world that maybe is antique and they would let us live in it, and it's set by certain physical rules so that we can't cheat with like super high jumps and crazy flips and powers and stuff like that. And I've always thought that people are very scared of that, and they say it might be a bad thing and a good thing. But at the same time, if you really think about it, well, what if you can't afford the big house, you can't afford all these things, but at the same time, if you're just sitting down and playing a video game but you can feel all these things in the same way, well, why does it have to be like an actual physical thing? What if you could feel it inside that game? Then basically, would it be fake or would it be real? I feel if you're living your life that way and you're living in the mansion that you've always wanted to live and you're living happily, well, who are we to say that something's fake or real, right? It's very strange concept, and I don't know if it's coming out the way it should come out, but I think it's very interesting because we often say, or our parents used to say, stop playing video games, you're wasting your time. But then at the same time, if you're enjoying what you're doing, how are you really wasting time? Is it because it's more important to go to a 9-to-5 job and do the things that or important to somebody else, but at the same time, we're allowed to live our life the way that we want to live that life. So if we enjoy playing video games 24/7, what's the problem with that? As long as you're not hurting anyone, especially if you don't have a family and stuff, then you don't have any responsibility. As long as, again, you're not hurting anyone, you should be allowed to do what you want. But yeah, would you want to live in a virtual world if for some reason you can't achieve all the dreams that you've ever wanted to achieve? But let's say I want to become a movie star, and there's this beautiful, beautiful AI virtual world where you can't even differentiate it from reality or fake. And in that world, there's an AI that can create movies where you are going to be the star, the absolute star, and you can actually memorize your lines and act in them and make these crazy, crazy films that maybe you even wrote in the real world or that the AI wrote for you, and you're able to live that dream. So, would that be cheating, or would it be real life? I mean, after all, you'd be living all these experiences. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. There'd be a final product which would look just as amazing as a Hollywood film, because in this virtual world, everything looks the same as in real life. So basically, I think that wouldn't be a bad thing. You'd be able to live in a mansion if you want to live in a mansion. You'd be able to live on another planet if you wanted to live on Mars. You could be a superhero if you wanted to be a superhero. How cool would it be if you could actually be in the Harry Potter world and have magic spells and do all the things that you've only imagined you could ever do, even if it's in virtual reality? As long as you're living it and you're feeling it, I don't really think that that's not real life. It's part of life. It's not because I watch a movie or that I play a video game that I'm not living. I'm still living. I'm just deciding to live for a few hours in that world, or get myself mesmerized by the story of the movie. So yeah, it's a really gray area, but at some point where you can't differentiate the reality and the virtual, even if you can differentiate it, but it's still enjoyable, and you prefer to live your life in that way, I say, why not? It's kind of a broad way of thinking, but we are kind of getting to that point, and what I'm saying is probably going to become reality sooner than you can even think. People will choose to live in the virtual world and not in the reality that we're in now. If we're not already living in the virtual world, we just don't know it. Okay? Well, that's it for today. Have a great day. Bye.